Yeah, welcome back to the session. That's a free orientation on civil services prelims 2025 exam. You are aware that this year prelims exam is on May 25th, 2025. Now you might be thinking that how to revise or complete prelims preparation, or should I integrate my prelims and mains preparation? So before diving into the agenda for today's session, so once again let me confirm with your participation. Am I audible and visible? You can respond in the chat box. You can respond in the chat box. Yeah, thank you. So you can see from the screen that I have mentioned that the agenda for civil services prelims exam. To have more clarity on agenda, I have mentioned 9 points in the prelims exam. My today's orientation for you, maybe you may be given prelims 1 or 2 attempts or 3 attempts or completed prelims preparation or fresher or struggling to clear your prelims preparation even after 2 attempts or 3 attempts. You can have one of the issue or more than one issue which is I have listed here. So here I have mentioned not knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Not knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Then simply following the syllabus approach. Simply following the syllabus approach. Neglecting the CSAT. You may think that last time 2024 if I have given attempt, you may think that sir paper 1 I have qualified, paper 2 I am disqualified. CSAT issue. Simply they say that no, I could not able to clear prelims exam because of CSAT. They blame CSAT irrespective of their knowing that CSAT is just like a qualifying exam where you need to score 66.67. Then next is loop approach. What is meant by loop approach? What is meant by loop approach? The loop approach is, again they will start prelims preparation from polity, history, geography, economy, S&T, current affairs, environment. Again they will start the same. Again they will in the loop. By the time you complete 4 subjects or 5 subjects or 7 subjects, you think that you have forgot your previous subjects. Then just before the exam, that is a May 2025, 25th, I mean 25th May 2025, you think that I have not revised one more time. If I revise, I feel confident so that I can go to the exam. That we call as a loop approach. In that loop approach, always the question of retention of your knowledge is a question mark. Then not knowing the demand of the exam, not knowing the demand of the exam, misguided by the pastors. Pastors may be seniors or maybe saying that the friend who is sitting next to you, they'll say that this book is material is better, this approach is good, that approach is good, this subject is having more weightage, UPSC is changing the pattern, UPSC is unpredictable. They'll start guiding or misguiding with their loaded information, and you think that that approach is relevant. Fortunately, if that person has cleared the prelims exam, you try to mimic that approach. So that will be thinking about what is meant by YouTuber's approach. Then fear of test series. The 7th point is very relevant because in the January month, most of the institutions they'll start mock test or full length test. They'll start mock test or full length test because we need data. We need data. So some students they'll have confidence to come to the exam and take the test. Other set of the students they don't come to the exam though they register it. The mainly reason is that if I take the test, my confidence levels will decrease. Assume that, believe that, know that whatever the test you are going to take from January to March and April, that is to rectify your mistake, not to get demotivated by the score that you are going to score. If you don't have confidence to take any test series or full length test or subject wise test, or even if you have free availability or access to test series, it means you are doing very wrong injustice to your preparation. Because any test series or practice or any kind of testing your knowledge will rectify your mistakes. Otherwise, if you think that let me complete my preparation, let me complete my revision, let me complete all the subjects, then I'll go to the exam. Then believe me that it will be in the month of April or May, where again you'll be feeling that if I take the test, if I score low marks, again my confidence will decrease. Then you'll go the exam hall on 25th May. Then you'll attempt the exam. After the exam, that is after 11:30, you think that you have to write the exam one more time. The beauty of UPSC is that while taking the exam itself, you'll be realizing that you'll be knowing that you're going to clear or not going to clear it. So seventh point is very important. Seventh point is very important. Then the native marking. Because of native marking, you have some limitations. What is the meaning of native marking? Why UPSC has given prelims exam with native marking? Mainly because we want clarity of information, not the all the information. Because we want clarity. You read this much information. Do you have the clarity? Even the student has completed all the subjects, entire subjects, every subject, there is no guarantee that he is going to clear the exam. Because reading the information is different, retaining the information is different. If you retain the information, then only you can handle the native marks. Otherwise, you feel fear of handling the native marking. And there are two set of the students. If I leave certain questions, or if I attempt all the questions, if I attend all the questions, my native marking will increase. If I don't attend the questions, the number of questions will come down. Then you lose and you will be in the dilemma in the exam hall, should I attempt or not? There should not be any confusion. Then the exam pressure. These are the 9 points, 9 common mistakes. It may be fresher, it may be fresher, or repeaters will have one or more than issue. What we are going to do in this session is that we need to realize, otherwise you will regret later. What we need to realize, you have to know the demand of the exam. What is the reverse approach? What is the core approach? What is syllabus approach? What is meant by dynamic and static approach? What is meant by themes approach? Then, so maximum marks, marks matrix to handle the native marking, then the programs of CivicCentre to rectify your mistakes. That is my agenda. Are you aware your mistakes? Now let's give me 20 minutes time. I'm going to tell you very important approach, the CivicCentre approach, the success approach, the reverse approach, the core approach, and you will enjoy the preparation with guarantee. Otherwise, now you think that you have time for Sankranti, then by the time you come back after your Sankranti holidays, then you think that you will calculate from 28th January, how many days are there for 28th May? Roughly you will be having February, March, April, May, 4 months. 4 into 30, 120 days. 120 days, 8 subjects or 10 subjects. Then you will calculate, okay, this number of days, one subject, like that you will calculate. By the time you complete 3-4 subjects, again the same loop approach. If I ask you, by the time you complete 4th subject, if I ask you to, can you take the test on subject 1, you think that, sir, I need to revise it. Why you need to revise? You think that if I revise one more time, I will feel confident, then I can go to the exam. That's a perception. Are we clear? Now, this is 4 points that simply these 5 points, if you could able to follow, then believe me that you are going to be in the right side and you can handle the exam pressure. You can command the paper. Now, before going into preparation, before going into the further session, I just want to remind that what was the cutoff in the previous years. You can see in the general category of UPSC prelims exam, irrespective of the number of participants, number of aspirants, number of registered attended students, the cutoff, unfortunately or fortunately, is decreasing from 105 to 75. 2023, the cutoff was 75 marks for general category, 68 EWS, 74 OBC, 59 and 47. Because we don't have data of 2024, and there was estimation predictions that in 2024, the cutoff marks would be around 85 to 90. Because relatively it has increased mainly because CSAT paper in 2024 relatively moderate as compared to 2023. That was cited as a main reason that the cutoff in 2024 slightly more than that of 2023. 75 marks was the cutoff in 2023. But if I take the average, you have to score at least 90 marks irrespective of the standard of the exam, then you can confidently prepare for the exam. Otherwise, on 25th May, many institutions will release the key, then you will verify, then you will be on the wall. as for this key, as for X institution key, you'll be scoring this much, then Y, Z, then you'll be having all kinds of permutations and combinations. It means prelims you need to command. So this is the cutoff trends. Now, in order to score 90 plus, how many questions we need to attend? How many questions I need to attend? Now now my target is 90 to 100. Irrespective of the standard of the exam. But what we are thinking that if I say this as a safe zone, then the next question you will be asking that, sir, it will depend on exam paper, exam standard, my preparation, others preparation, CSAT standard, all combinations and the number of vacancies, all combinations will say whether the cutoff will decrease or increase or what would be. But we need to understand UPSC. Now again there is one more question that, sir, UPSC is unpredictable and we don't know how it is going to ask. The only aspect that the UPSC is having in his hands is that subject weightage. The remaining aspects UPSC is not changing. We are changing unmindfully. You have different subjects. In 1 year, the subject weightage may slightly reduced or increased. That imbalance is being applied by UPSC to make the paper as dynamic or unpredictable. Remaining aspects UPSC more or less is maintaining the same trends of not more than 10 to 5% of deviation from the previous year. To be in the safe zone, how to handle my prelims preparation? There are 90 to 120 days. If you invest 90 days properly, 90 to 120 days properly, daily 6 hours, you can clear the exam. That in the safe zone. As I mentioned in the first slide, most of the students or many students will be in the loop of the 9 mistakes which I mentioned. Again, they will now last 2 months or 60 days or 45 days, they'll be focusing on their mains preparation or optional preparation. Now, after Sankranti or now in the month of January, February, now prelims is coming, summer is coming. Then again, they'll calculate all the subjects. Okay, 8 to 9 subjects are there, 120 days is there. Now I need to revise one more time. If you are a repeater, you think that I need to revise one more time. What is meant by revision? How we are going to revise? If you are a fresher, you think that I need to read all the subjects. Believe me that within this 90 days or 120 days is sufficient to revise or read all the subjects. That's the first question. Even the students who had been mainly or completely focusing on prelims also, they feel stress of subjects. The mistake is that they were in the loop of completing all the subjects. Say for example, history they may start or polity they may start. Yes, economy, geography, S&T. Please disable that notifications. Economy, geography and S&T, current affairs, CSAT. The loop approach is that by the time you complete this 1 or 2 subjects, again the previous subjects you will have the feeling that you have to revise one more time. Assume that you have completed 2 subjects in the month of January and you are going to read 2 more subjects in the month of February, then 1 or 2 subjects in the month of March. In the month of March, if I ask one student, can you take the subjects which you have completed in the month of January? The student simply replied, sir, can you give some time? I will revise it. I will come to the exam. Isn't it? You think that, my retention, my knowledge which I have completed look like a fresh in the month of March. So again, you have to read from first page to last page to feel the confidence to come to the exam. Am I clear? So it means the loop approach, you will be in the mindset of always you will be doubting your subjects. It is not because of your knowledge, it is not because of your mindset, because the subjects are not rocket science in UPSC, but the subjects are like evaporating subjects, vaporizing subjects like your rocket. And even if I complete the subjects or polity, economy, history or all the subjects, Because of vaporizing in nature, you'll get the question of doubt. You'll get the question of doubt. Either option B is correct or C is correct. You'll be toggling between two options. If you're toggling between two options, meaning is that you know the concepts, but you don't have clarity. If one student is toggling between two options or more options, though the question is aware of it, then the student knows about the concept, without clarity. Say, if I just simply ask, which of the following planets are inner planets, are inferior planets, or superior planets? Then the student will try to mine his knowledge. He will think that if I revise my solar system or geomorphology, I can easily answer this question. When you are going to revise it? Time is a limiting factor, isn't it? We are now going to discuss to handle the pressure of loop or evaporating nature of your knowledge, because mainly the culprit is your time. Given the time in your graduation or degree or PG, you have lot of time. Even you have time to do every activity. But when it comes to UPSC, even if you are not doing any other activity, completely doing one activity, there is no guarantee that you are going to clear the exam. The reason is not because of your competency. The reason is not because of your knowledge. It's because of time. The time that they have given, majority of the students could not able to handle. It's just like a electioneering. 5 years time is given for all the parties to build their network, to do effectively that 48 hours before the elections. The party which is having top to bottom, bottom to top, efficient coordination system could able to win the elections just before the 24 hours or 48 hours before the election. Why I'm saying is that, so because of time constraint, if time is given, you may think in the month of May, HMPV is coming, one more lockdown. If time is coming, I'll get 2 more weeks to revise, like COVID. First time UPSC postponed exam in the year of 2020. Remaining is UPSC has not postponed. The impact of COVID 2020, now they have rectified. Now you see in the month, this year 2025, prelims is in the month of May, mains is in the month of August. Previously October to September, September to August. This is the time period usually UPSC has been following pre-COVID. Now it has taken almost 4 years time for UPSC to reduce the time, and wanted to have the time in the expected time of in the month of May, in the month of August. Now again you'll think, sir, my preparation for prelims is very short. Slowly you feel in the month of January, February, March, April, May, you feel the pressure of time. Now you may read 6 hours, 8 hours, slowly you will increase 8 hours, 10 hours, then 12 hours, 14 hours, then 12 hours, 14 hours also, you think that the time is not adequate. Why time is not adequate? Why for others the time is adequate? Even certain students, they will be reading, and if we ask that, can you take the test? They will say, no, I have not completed my subjects. I have not completed the subject. Even if I complete the subject, I have not revised my subjects. Even I have revised the subject, there is no guarantee that you will be in the safe zone. When you are going to handle the exam, if I give question paper now, do you have confidence? Do you have no fear to take the test? Then you are a fit student for the prelims exam. So these are the repeated mistakes, not only for the seniors, not only for the freshers. Majority of the students will be in the same loop approach, thinking that I need to invest at least 10 to 12 hours for my prelims exam. And prelims nowadays is becoming mental barrier or major barrier or everyone barrier. By the time in the month of April and May, then there will be a realization. Those students who have been focusing simultaneously prelims and mains, they realize that in the month of April, at least let me clear the prelims. Okay, let me clear the prelims. Because yeah, my mains is preparation is over. I have completed 2 or 3 papers in mains preparation, but I am not sure in the prelims preparation. Then they will leave all the mains preparation suddenly. Now they will Google important topics of current affairs, monthly current affairs, targeted 100 questions, 200 questions, minimum guarantee, how to score 100 plus. ఇట్లాంటివి గూగుల్ చేసి then they'll collect it. Then what they want at that in the month of April and May, they want minimum guarantee. They don't want to risk it. So because now we have left, again you will have 45 days approach, 30 days approach, prelims approach, success approach, rankers approach, then different thumbnails you will have, and you will open it. Then again you have changed the approach. Whatever the approach you wanted to follow, now suddenly you will change in the month of April. The reason is the culprit is time. The culprit is time. Now, what I wanted to make you to realize is now, you realize it now itself. You realize it now itself. You have the constraint of time. You have the time of 90 days or 100 days. Within this 100 days, how to score 100 plus. How to score 100 plus. Now, I'll make you why time is not approached, why time is not adequate. The simple reason is that yeah, online participants, I hope that everything is clear. There is no noise and there is no disturbance in the technical streaming. Can you reconfirm? Thank you, Mr. Nagaraj. Thank you, Naveen. Yeah. Why time is not adequate? Why time is not adequate? Time is not sufficient. Why? Because the existing approach you have to realize. I'll tell you why time is not approach. Because now you see, I'm coming from outside to this is my target. The C is my target. C is my target. Now I'm coming from outside. So now I slowly open the book, polity. I complete one loop, then history, then economy, then polity, then other subjects, then current affairs, then budget, economic survey, then special editions, like that I'll go. Clear? Or if I take one subject also, even if I take one subject also, say for example, polity, I'll open from first page, I'll read all the subjects from your historical background to the latest constitutional development, current affairs last, related to polity. You are starting from outside to inside, isn't it? Outside to inside. This is outside to inside. Why you are coming from outside to inside? Because if I read step by step, page by page, concept by concept, I'll have logical flow of understanding the question, isn't it? Logical flow of revising the subject, knowing the subject, coming to the core. This is my core of requirement of the exam. This is my core of my preparation. What is meant by core of my preparation? Exams, isn't it? Exams, latest current affairs, and the important themes. This is the core of preparation. But the student, what they're doing, they're coming from outside. Syllabus approach, subject approach, chapter by chapter. Now, I'm keeping my core as repeated themes, important themes. Then dynamic approach, where in the recent 6 months current affairs or important 100 topics, common mistakes, subject related current affairs, I am keeping the core. What is meant by core? The core of every subject is important static. Then the dynamic in the aspects for every subject. Say for example, if you're reading local winds, You can read the wind pattern. So all the local winds you can see. Recently, you might be aware that Los Angeles experiencing what Los Angeles is experiencing. Just still it is going on. It's burning because of local wind of Santa Ana. In the entire desert area, California, extended area of California is your Los Angeles. Now it has been washed out, burned out because of local wind, dry wind, extreme temperature wind of Santa Ana. Now, if you know that one, if you know that recent event, there may be possibility of question asking on local winds. Local winds. It is the meaning of dynamic pattern. The fundamental difference between your competitive exams and your graduation exams is that you have static part and dynamic part. When it comes to your graduation subjects, you have more of static subjects. No need to read newspaper. No need to update contemporary issues. But when it comes to competitive exams like UPSC, equal importance has to be given for your static and dynamic. Now, I have kept my core of the requirement of the exams as important static, important dynamic aspects, current related developments. This is your core. In order to understand this core, in order to understand the core, you are coming from outside to inside, isn't it? That's why you are doing from first page to last page. My realization is that, my approach is that, if I'm asking on this subject, say for example, geography, assume that 18 questions to 20 questions asked from geography. Assume that 18 to 20 questions asked from geography. Out of 18 to 20 questions, this 20 questions are coming from here, 12 questions are coming from here, then remaining 8 questions may appear from here. Isn't it? 12 questions from the core area, remaining 8 questions, you don't have guarantee where it is coming. You don't have guarantee from where it is coming. But we are guaranteed that, and we know that, and everyone knows that this 12 questions out of 20 will come from the core area. The core area is that your static area, dynamic area, and current affairs. Now the student is, instead of focusing from inside to outside, that is from core to the surface, students are diving from surface to the core. By the time you come to here, by the time you come to the core, it is already April. Pressure, what will happen? If you move from crust to the core of Earth's surface, how you'll be feeling? You'll be feeling enormous pressure. Even you'll have the realization that I have completed outer layers. Again, let me revise these outer layers. Otherwise, again, I'll forget these outer layers. But the guarantee is that you will be having not more than 8 questions outer layers. Inside, you are having guarantee of 12 questions. 12 into 8. 12 into 8. I'm saying that 12 out of 20. The percentage is that 60%. 60% of every subject, of all the subjects, will come from core area. What is meant by my core area? Important static concepts, meaning repeated concepts. Then the second is that dynamic aspect. Say dynamic aspects, meaning the dynamic aspects is that last contemporary issues or current issues related to the respective subjects in the news. That's the dynamic issue. So this is the static plus dynamic. If you complete, how much time you can complete? It won't take more than 10 to 12 days to complete your important static and dynamic part. Like that, this is my prelims exam preparation. This is my prelims exam preparation. This is my core preparation. This is my core preparation. Where the core preparation is now I'm prioritizing of all the subjects of important static concepts. I'll be defining what is meant by important static and dynamic subject. That is dynamic aspect of all the subjects. Don't think that, history is not having dynamic. Don't think that. So only economy, environment, and current affairs are having dynamic. All the subjects in UPSC are having linked with the dynamic. The dynamic part of the subject, dynamic part we are defining the 6 months. If you are having, go to the 10 months. If you are having time, go to the 1 year. People will start from previous month. So now May 2025, they'll start from June 2024. June 2024. By the time they complete December 2024, your April already arrived. You have to go reverse. You have to go reverse. Now we are in the January month. Start with January, complete December, then November. The relevance, the focus, the target would be more. Even if you are setting the question paper, even if you are setting the question paper, your target of asking the questions would be from morely from core area. Now let us command the core area. Let us give the importance to core area. So by the approach called important static called dynamic part of your subject. If you are having time, assume. Now here the question is that, sir, what is the guarantee that, what if the questions are coming from non-core area? What if student is doubting themselves, sir, I'm reading only core area, important static and last 6 months current affairs subject related. What if the question is coming from other area? That is your doubt, isn't it? Because you are not reading certain part of the syllabus, certain portion of your syllabus, which you have already been reading. Maybe your NCERT, standard books, class notes, material, this one, that one. Now you have the question of doubt. You have question of doubt because of this 8 questions out of 12 questions. My question is that, if you have time, first complete your core area, then increase one more circle. Increase one more circle like this. Time matters. No pressure, isn't it? First, I have completed core area of all the subjects. Now I have time. I am left with time. Now you see, if you complete core area of at least one subject, not completed the entire subject, but I completed core area. Now, if I ask Mr. X, can you take this test? What would be your confidence? You feel confident to come to the exam hall. Otherwise, you feel that I have completed only 4 or 5 chapters. I'm not confident. Let me complete. Let me read it. Let me revise it. Then I'll come to the exam hall. That approach always is a inferior approach. It won't give confidence. It will give confidence. You are expected to give the confidence in the month of April. Always planning period, implementation gap is more than. You always blame 5-year plans implementation. Targets are there. Targets are double digit. Reality is single digit. Target is double digit. Reality is single digit. So it means in the month of April, in the month of March end, you feel that you're not confident of any subject. Only few people we have command, they feel that I can write the exam. Now in the core approach, a reverse approach, a demand of the exam approach, I'm always command. I'm always confident. Yes, I can go to the exam because I have completed my core area. If 20 questions are given, or 60 questions are given, or 100 questions are given, 60% of the questions I can answer, isn't it? Remaining 40% of the questions, this is your outer layer. I can read the question, I can go to the explanation, I can add on my knowledge. That's it. In this approach, there are 8 subjects, 8 into 10 days. For every subject, you can command the paper, you can complete the core within 80 to 90 days. Assume you have a lot of time. Increase the outer layers. But if you come from outside to inside, it will take lot of time. Minimum 21 days it will take to complete one subject. Don't you agree? But in case of test series, they don't have that much time. Institutions don't have time. You may have time. What they'll plan? Every subject, 1 week. Every subject, 1 week, Sunday or Saturday, you'll have the weekend test. You feel you are struggling to complete, even if you spend 24 hours. Even if you spend 24 hours, you could not able to complete the paper or syllabus or subject. Then you don't realize your mistakes in that approach, isn't it? You don't realize your mistakes because you are already realizing that if I would have completed my syllabus, I would have performed very well. That's why I'm not realizing my mistakes. Even the students, they don't go to the explanation. They don't check their performance. They don't analyze why they have attempted that certain questions are correct or incorrect. Only the reason is that they just simply realize that I have not completed anyway the syllabus. That's why I scored less. Yes, you have self-justified, not realize the mistake. Now you have to decide which approach you have to follow. You have to decide which approach you have to follow. What is approach? The simply approach is that it is static plus dynamic of any subject. Static we need to revise through the PYQs. PYQs themes. People will say, sir, I'm writing India's toughest exam. Why UPSC will ask again PYQs? That was everyone's mindset. That's why they're not giving importance to PYQ. PYQs is the focus area for static concepts. PYQs will give important themes, important concepts. Say, for example, geomorphology or climatology, oceanography, fundamental rights, national income. Let us first revise with clarity of the concepts which has been asked in the PYQs of last 30 years. Of last 30 years, where you can have 30 years means every year I'm taking at least 10 themes. 10 into 30, how many themes? How many themes? Let me know. 300 concepts of every subjects. These concepts you have to revise with clarity. If the question is coming again on the same concept, you shall have 100% confidence and clarity to attempt it. Say, for example, international dateline is there. International dateline is there. The question is that, assume that the person is crossing from west to east of international dateline, from Samoa to Hawaii. What will happen? They'll give the three conditions. Day will repeat, he will gain the day, he has to subtract the day, or his birthday will be repeated twice. Your mindset would be, sir, I'm reading now polity, sir, you are asking question on geography, sir. That's what your justification, right? If I ask a student, he will say that, sir, now I'm reading history, sir. After completing history, I'll answer geography. After completing geography, again, if I ask history, sir, I need to revise history, sir, because in this valley civilization, always I have not decoded. Even the Tamil Nadu government has announced $1 million if I could able to decode IVC. That is my justification, isn't it? Am I clear? So it means if I'm just to take PYQ themes. Again, realize it. Just to take the PYQ themes, have the conceptual clarity. Again, don't again go through your all the scrap which you have been accumulated. Concept, that's it. International dateline they have asked. Solar system planets they have asked. Fundamental rights they have asked one question. That question, the intention of the question, the limits of the question, the limits of the concept, you have to revise it. 300 concepts, 300 themes, you have done with one subject. How many days it will take? 300 themes, now I can target it. Now I have 1 week time or 10 days time to complete my 300 themes. Now another 100 themes from current affairs of last 6 months. 400 concepts You're clearly done with your preparation. 400. Out of 400, if you could able to attempt 10 questions with clarity, 10 questions, don't you think that you are going to clear the exam? If you have time, sir, again your mind will be saying that, no, I am only reading 400, sir. Lot of syllabus I am not reading. What I'm saying? You just focus on core. Then if you have time, then you focus on mantle and crust. For everything, magnetic field, everything, landforms, everything is from where it is coming from core only. Am I clear? Core if you are correct, core if you are confident, core if you focus. If you have time, increase your layers of information, increase your layers of expansion of your subject, that you can do it. I'm not denying it. Sir, can I approach syllabus approach, or if I complete the entire subject within 90 days, 100 days, what is a good approach? Yes. If you have competency and that much of caliber to complete any subject or all the subjects within 90 to 100 days, yeah, you are always welcome, and your photo will be displayed in Ashok Nagar to get realization for all the students. Only aspect is that time. Are we clear? Did you follow my approach? So always we had been following, always we had been educating my students right from all the levels of exam. First is know the static. Know the static. PYQ themes already, there are beautiful compilations in the market when it comes to UPSC. They have segregated subject-wise, chapter-wise, topic-wise also. Take that one. Take that one. If you could able to answer any question on that particular concept, you're done with that concept. Are we clear? So like that, you have to revise it. Like that, and all the chapters of that respective subject has to be completed. Then 6 months contemporary issues related to your subject. 100 themes is more than enough. 100 themes is more than enough. So 400 themes, if you complete 400 into your all the subjects. What are the subjects? Tell me. History, geography, your economy, polity, SNT, SNT. So environment, general science, current affairs. Current affairs. ఇవి ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇక్కడ ఎన్ని సబ్జెక్ట్స్ రాసాం మనం 8 into 400 ఎంతండి 3000 plus concepts, not the questions. One concepts I can ask multiple questions. There is a difference. I have been repeatedly telling it's a concepts, not the questions. If the question asked on election of president, election of removal of vice president, so that procedure, that context has to be respected, and in that way you have to revise the respective concept. Just ignore other aspects, because prelims, it's not a absolute exam, it's a relative exam. It is a relative exam. You understand what is our approach? Based on this concept, based on repetitive success of our student and CivicCentre, we only deal with your prelims exam like this only. To handle your exam pressure, to handle your exam requirement, we have to follow this method. We have to follow this method. That is for general studies paper 1. ఇక్కడ మీకు ఆల్వేస్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, ప్యారలల్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, వాట్ ఇఫ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ అవుట్ సైడ్, వాట్ ఇఫ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ నాట్ కంప్లీటెడ్ సిలబస్ in any test series or practice test. That concept you take it and revise it selectively. Clear? Core you have completed, repeated important concepts, static part I have done, dynamic part I have done. If I take test of any coaching institution, there if you are taking any test of